Hey guys, welcome back to Excel Walk. My name is Martin. Thank you for joining us today. Today we are going to look at the conditional functions SUMIF and SUMIFS. Stay tuned. If you have any questions, you can leave them on the comment section and I'll be happy to reply to them. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to use conditional functions. Now, what are conditional functions? Conditional functions are functions like SUMIF, SUMIFS, average if, count if, max if, minimum if. All of these are considered as conditional functions because what they do is that they let you have an option to give out a different outcome based on the criteria that has been chosen. So I'm just going to take you through the conditional function and what it does by using some of the most popular functions out there. So we are just going to start by defining it. So what are conditional functions? So conditional functions let you sum, average, count, or get the min or max of a range based on a given condition or criteria you specify. Such as, let's take an example for this formula here down here. So as you can see from this formula, we have this range here, and we have this criteria here, and we have the range that we want to sum. So this is a SUMIF function. Let me just show you what SUMIFs is. So SUMIFs, it is the same as SUMIF, but it lets you use multiple criteria. So that's the difference that you are going to notice when you use SUMIF. SUMIF allows you only to use one criteria, while SUMIFs allow you to use multiple criteria. So you can use a lot of criteria. This is just a number. This is just an example of two criteria with their sum, with their range, and with their sum. So as you can see, this is the range where you want to sum. Now for this, you'll realize that there's a difference with SUMIF. SUMIF has the sum range appearing at the end of the syntax, but when it comes to SUMIFs, we are using the sum range at the beginning, and then you get to define your range where you want your criteria to be met, and then the criteria, and then you get to define your second range and then the second criteria. So that's all about how to use conditional functions such as SUMIF and SUMIFs. So I'm just going to walk you through how to use it in a particular table. So let me just go to my table. So we have this table here, and we have fruits on one column and amount on the other column. So this is a perfect example of how to use SUMIF. I'm just going to put here my formula. So I'm just going to write is equals to SUMIF. So we want the first one, which is only picking one criteria and one range. So I'm going to choose my range. So the range that I want is this one, and then I'm just going to lock it there because this is not a whole column. And then I'm just going to choose the criteria. So in this case, my criteria, I want it to be this option, which is A17. So since I can't click A17 due to the cell box pointer, I'm just going to write it there because that is A17. And then now we have our range, we have our criteria. Now all we want to do is to fill up the sum range. So this is the sum range, and we are going to put it also in absolute. For those of you who do not know what absolute is, I will link my video where I get to explain what absolute is and how you can use it. I'll post it right here, so you can click that link if you'd like to learn more. And then, having done that, we're just going to close our bracket and then press enter. So ideally, as you can see, here we have already created a data validation rule which returns all of this in a drop down. So this can be very useful whenever let's say you're creating an invoice for a particular product. You can actually get to be creative in this section, whereas your data can be somewhere else. It has brought us this. So let me just go using my drop down. I'm just going to pick one of these items here. And as you can see, it is already summing up as expected. Now, this other section, Now this allows us to use SUMIFs. So I'm just going to delete that and write for you a SUMIF. So remember SUMIF, we said we start with writing the whole formula and then the sum range. Now it starts with the sum range, not like here on SUMIF where the sum range was the last to put on our syntax. And then we are going to close that by using the absolute method, which is pressing F4. And then I'm going to put comma. Now I just need to pick the criteria range. So in my case, I want fruit to be the first criteria range and type to be the second criteria range. So I'm just going to put here this as my first criteria range and then lock it there because we do not want our formula to go down beyond that. And then I'm just going to pick the criteria. So as you can see, the criteria is D17. So I'm just going to write it there because Excel is already typing that formula down there, so I can't select it. And then I'm going to choose now my second criteria and then lock it there. And then comma, I'm just going to put the second criteria. So that is the second criteria is E17. And once you do that, you will have finished with writing this formula. So let's go ahead and press enter and see what it brings us. So as you can see, now it has brought us the SUMIF of adding only what is in the fruit category and what is in the type category. So thank you so much for taking time to watch this video. If you learned something new, you can let me know on the comment section. If you'd like me to create a different kind of video, you can let me know there still. If you enjoyed this video, you can leave a like. You can also subscribe to help Excel work in the YouTube algorithm. And I'll be happy to know if it actually helped you in any way. Until next time, cheers.